As we light the lights of Hanukkah each of the 8 nights, most of us conclude the lighting ceremony with the singing of the song Maoz, Tzur, Rock of Ages, um, which actually is not universal among all Jews. It's an Ashkenazi song. It's a text that was written in Germany uh, right after the Crusades. And we know one verse, but there are actually 6 verses. And the author's name is embedded in the first letter of the verses. His name is Mordechai. Mordechai ben Isaac, to be specific. Um, the English translation that we're all familiar with corresponds slightly but not completely to the actual meaning of the text. The first verse, the one that everybody knows in Hebrew, reads, "Refuge, rock of my salvation. To you it is a delight to give praise. Restore my house of prayer," that is to say, the temple, "so that there I may offer you thanksgiving. When you silence the loud-mouthed foe, then will I complete with song and psalm the altar's dedication." In other words, this is a petition for God to perform once again what God did during Hanukkah, that is to say, restore the temple so that the altar came to be rededicated. The other verses deal with the other historical instances of Israel's oppression and then salvation under Pharaoh in Egypt and the redemption from Egypt, the Babylonian exile and the return 70 years later, the plot of Haman to destroy all the Jews, and Mordecai's salvation, and then finally the Greeks and the Hasmoneans. And the last verse, "Then the Greeks gathered against me in the days of the Hasmoneans. They broke down the walls of my towers and defiled all the oils. But from the last remaining flask a miracle was wrought for your beloved. Therefore it was ordained these 8 days for song and praise." The English version that everybody knows is based on a German version by the Reform Rabbi Leopold Stein. It was written by Marcus Jastrow and Gustav Gottheil in the late 19th century, and it makes the text a little bit more PG and inclusive. "Rock of ages, let our song praise thy saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes was our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their sword when our own strength failed us." And the last verse, there are 3 verses, the last verse proclaims the hopeful liberal philosophy of these 19th century Reformed Jews. "Children of the martyr race, whether free or fettered," that is to say, whether in the United States or in Eastern Europe, "wake the echoes of the songs where ye may be scattered. Yours the message cheering that the time is nearing which will see all men free, tyrants disappearing." And even though our situation is not as optimistic as theirs, this is still our hope during this season of liberation and rededication. Hanukkah Sameach.